Happy birthday.
Piece of cake.
Well, shit. So, it is finally that time. The time I've been dreading for years. The time when it's all downhill from here. Just kidding. I don't really give a flying fuck that I'm turning 30. Or at least not for the reason that most people would think anyway. I'm only slightly perturbed because I wasted my 20s doing something that made me happy, and that I thought might get me somewhere instead of concentrating on this page, which is what I should have been doing as my main priority. I do sort of have an excuse, well, not really, but sort of kind of, that does explain why I couldn't really make decently put together videos up until 2013, despite technically me making plenty of videos beforehand, such as back in 2011 and a whole lot of other videos which were super low quality, especially my first one, and that were on mostly trivial topics that I was obsessed with at the time. But I'll explain why my videos were so bad at the beginning, along with why I delayed really concentrating on this channel, up until 2016, 8 years after I founded this channel. That kind of hurts to say that out loud. Along with my plans for the future, and hopefully some inspirational words for other people to get off their asses and make their own content, not being like me. First off, my best excuse is my severe dyslexia, which is pretty fucking bad. I mean, really, really, really fucking bad. This may shock you, but I have about a second grade reading level due to it, which has limited me severely on the internet ever since I started using it, and especially when I got my own PC, sometime in the mid-2000s, around 2005 to 2006. This made my ability to interact on anything but a basic level and to use the internet to its full potential nearly impossible, basically making me a silent observer for the first 8 years that I was really online. And yes, it was really damn frustrating, on top of the limitations I had in real life to boot. But luckily for me, my limitations could be easily overcome using the proper software, such as Dragon Naturally Speaking, which is what I use to dictate any sort of writing, from comments to scripts, such as the one I'm using right now. Of course I use another program, text-to-speech software, to read things to myself, which is called Natural Reader, which you've heard before if you've watched my second Technological Salvation video. Plug. It's the intro speech, or MomBot's voice.
In a world where technology is vilified and seen as a threat, and shows the world the benefits of technology and how it will become our technological salvation.
Yep, that's the cold robotic voice I have to hear every time I want to read something, and only if I could scroll over the text, like so.
So here's my Halloween related video that I think I hinted at months ago. I started this back in August and started the Source Filmmaker animation around the third weekend of September the 16th, I think. I planned on getting this done 1 or 2 weeks before October, and I finally finished this on October 23rd. A man choosy is slave abates.
NANI?!
A man chooses a slave abates.
But if it's on like a picture, I basically have to type it out in order to read it. And did I mention it screws up common words on top of lacking the subtle nuances that reading things normally would have, because it's very hard to translate that into the monotone machine voice I'm forced to use due to my disability. But what do you expect from a free program anyway? Seriously, people who were born completely normal, you need to be extremely thankful you were not born with a nerf. And I technically have 2 of them. On top of all the small ailments I was born with that I inherited too. Which is another reason I'm regretting getting older, as my body, which was already a dumpster fire, even when I was a kid, it's only going to decay more. And yes, technically there are better programs such as Ivona, which sounds 1,000 times better, and it actually somewhat sounds like a normal voice.
This is a demo. Enter some text, and click listen, 250 characters maximum.
Which I used a free demo once, but when we actually tried to purchase it, we couldn't buy it for some reason because we could not find a way to pay for it with American currency. And by we, I mean my mother, as I'm on welfare and have not technically worked a job since high school, where I worked inside my actual high school, so I don't actually earn, unless you count the welfare check, any of my own money. Which is sort of the secondary reason I've dragged my feet when it came to creating content, as I don't like to ask for things, especially things that may seem trivial, because my family has been struggling financially for decades for reasons I don't plan on getting into, but especially through the late 2000s and early 2000 teens, which were my mid to late teenage years through my early 20s. We're financially stable now, but it was the reason I got on welfare early on as a way of keeping us financially stable in rough times, which at certain points even that didn't help us very much. This is why I'm extremely hesitant to ask for anything, along with me generally not liking for asking for anything at all. So as you could imagine, I sort of waited before asking for a speech-to-text program, all the way up until Christmas of 2013, even though I had known about these types of programs existing for at least a couple of years. That and I was generally procrastinating, doing the non-important thing, which added to the delaying. But as you can tell, I finally got my shit together, for the most part, around early 2015. And it only took me 4 or 5 years to do so. So I purchased Sony Vegas 11 and had already gotten a better computer like around 2012, so I was good to go there. Then I got to writing my first script, beginning the process of creating my first truly well-planned and put-together video, now with my full attention on this channel and its content. Then I was inspired to start using Source Filmmaker by... I literally don't remember what inspired me to use this program. Look, I have really bad memory. Probably one of the side effects of my royally fucked up brain, but my memory is so bad that when I get up to use the bathroom, I forget what I was watching seriously like a couple of seconds ago. Which is really going to make my decade in review video later this year really fucking short. But for whatever reason I chose to use this program for, it was probably because I was watching a bunch of SFM videos at the time, and it gave me the inspiration. Which I sometimes regret, as this damn thing is such a royal pain in the ass to use. I have so many notes on this damn thing in order to use it that I have to have a table of contents at the beginning. Yeah, 3D animation was a great choice for someone who literally has no training in it, or animation of any kind, on top of having autism, which makes it difficult for me to understand subtle body movements on top of my terrible memory. But to be fair, this shit would be difficult for anyone has figuring out the basics by myself. After watching many a video and taking as many notes as I could, it was still a monumental chore to animate the basic things like walking or sitting up in bed. And if you think you know how to do it, you don't have the slightest fucking clue. Just try and download SFM or any 3D animation program while only having the basic knowledge on how to use it, and just see how easy it is to make your model's movements look remotely realistic. Hint, there's a lot more that goes into moving around in the real world that most people don't think about that makes animation of any kind without the proper knowledge, or even with it, such a royal fucking bitch. I mean, look at this. I'm just moving the torso, head, and arms around, and the mouth movements are automatic if you have the right model, and it's still so freaking time consuming. And did I mention what a pain it is to manipulate fingers? Luckily there's some workarounds, especially for the Team Fortress 2 models with preset animations. Basically what I'm trying to say is 3D animation is really, really, really fucking difficult. It took me dozens of hours to learn how to do, and dozens more of actually doing to get somewhat decent at it. So would I recommend it to anyone? Despite it basically being abandoned by Valve and having some bugginess to it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Why do you think I'm still using it? Because it allowed me to do all of this. And if you're still not convinced with what this program can do, let me just show off what Valve did with this program ever since 2007. And all of this was done using this very program, and it's completely fucking free. And if you want your mind blown some more, just check out the videos from the annual Saxty Awards in particular, and especially the winners, and extra especially the winner of 2018's award.
Self-destruct activated.
As you can clearly see, the things that people can do with SFM are monumental, which are only limited by the maps, models, and props that they can use, and their own imaginations. And that can be overcome with Hammer, which comes along with it, allowing you to make whatever content you'd like if you have the skills. And if you're too lazy or lack the talent, There's new content being posted daily on the workshop or SFM Labs, along with other sources that you can download for absolutely free. Well, that turned into an off-the-cuff commercial rather quickly, unsponsored of course, but I have to give SFM its dues while explaining why I use it, and I do really enjoy this program, and I'm very glad I did pick it up in the first place and started using it. But I think I've spent far too long giving my backstory and a boatload of excuses, some legitimate, some not, for my delayed start. Seriously, this will probably be most of the video. So now I'm briefly going to explain my plans for the future for this channel, and give some much needed advice for up and coming content creators, especially the ones who could seriously use it. So what do I have planned for what's ahead? A lot of shit, quite frankly, with at least 6 major videos planned for the immediate future, and whatever ideas hit me along the way. And that's all I have so far, and I'm sure it'll keep me busy for some good amount of time, with me learning and growing from the experience along the way. And I'm going to keep going up until I run out of ideas or find something much better to do. My ultimate goal is not to use SFM at all, or narrate my own videos, but basically use a different format entirely, like with the team of people helping me. I've got plenty of ideas for this new style of video, but the only way that this will become a reality is if I keep working hard, and if I'm lucky enough to become popular enough to do so. Hope that answered that question, as vague as that all was. Let's move along to the advice section, so I won't be alone in my suffering when it comes to creating content. I know you want to do it. You just need some good motivation. But too bad you're getting it from me. First off, the best advice I can give you is, just start. That's it. Just start doing anything when it comes to creating content. Start writing scripts. Start learning how to edit videos. Start finding what is the best editing software, and etc. Just freaking do something. Anything. The only way you're going to learn how to get better at something is if you actually start doing the thing you're trying to get better at. I know that's kind of redundant, but it's the truth. You can only improve at something through repetition, and of course your content will start out pretty bad, but so did everyone else who came before you. Just look at any YouTube creator's early stuff and it's basically fucking terrible. But they kept going and improved with time, for the most part, because they stuck with it and kept producing content, getting a little better at it each time. And that's the only true way to do it, because you have to crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run. So just freaking start already, goddammit. Obviously there's much more to it than that, but that's a good first start. The other side to this is lots and lots of research, on everything. That's what I did to learn how to use SFM and programs such as Sony Vegas, and what were good programs to use in the first place. You could research what's the best kind of microphone to use, what's the best kind of editing software, how to structure a video, how to make a good visual effect, how to properly narrate. I'm too lazy to do that, but you certainly could. And there's 1,000,000 other things you could research in preparation before you even started preparing for your first video, and that's all it really takes. Preparation, research, and just fucking getting on with it. I'm living proof of that as a man with a 2nd grade reading level and crippling anxiety who is actually producing content. So it should be a lot easier for normal people without the 2 negative stats. And even if you're not, you can find a way around that, because I sure as hell have. But of course, with any decent birthday celebration, I would like a gift from you, dear viewer. Nothing financial, of course, at least not spent upon me in any capacity. What it is that I would like from you upon this day that is my birth is simply this. I want you to hunt down the kids who bullied me in school, torture them slowly, then kill them even more slowly while filming it so I can enjoy their suffering. Actually, what I really want is this. Say something. Make something. Do something. Just create anything meaningful, whether it be a video, an essay, or just a really long post, or just a short, simple comment left down below. Speak your mind on whatever topic you can think of, no matter how trivial or silly it may be. Just share it, however you wish to share it, with the entire world in any capacity. Just start freaking emptying your mind all over the internet with every crazy out there thought or deep pondering you can come up with or have ever thought up, adding to the conversation in any and every way possible.
Do it! Just do it!
The greatest gift that you can give me is the gift of another mind not silently letting its potential rot away in obscurity, thus losing all that it could have added and done for the world, but adding its wisdom and unique perspective to the human experience instead. And who knows, maybe your mental ramblings and quirky ideas could benefit the world for the better, and I guarantee you, in some capacity, they will. But if not, at least you got them off your chest. And hey, maybe they'll stimulate someone else's ideas or thoughts that could benefit the world instead. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to be spending my birthday enjoying myself. But right after that, I'm going to get straight back into working on my future projects. And I hope I'm not the only one who will be doing so.